So, we know the cave was inaccessible because of the leak.
Yes, suggesting most other tangles are from damage to the tapestry. Major breakages always seem to have one nearby.
If there's raw magic in that part of the tapestry, at least.
Exactly. Now that we know how to shut down a part of the tapestry, we should be able to make repairs.
What did you find in the notes from the cave?
Exactly what I was hoping to see. Advanced material sciences. Results from experiments on pressure containment.
Unsuccessful containment.
True. But in fairness, it wasn't the new design that failed.
I'm glad I could help, Sev.
More than anything, this has reminded me that not all Norians are scheming political animals.
Some are you.
Well, not anymore. But yes, some are more interested in sharing their expertise and pushing it further. And that's enough to give me hope that maybe if we get out of here, there's a way I could reform things.
Or at least open some eyes.
Exactly. That's a problem for the future, though. For now, there are tests to run. The more I dwell on the prospects of repairing the tapestry, the more excited I become.
The experimental piping is working, then?
Yes, it is. I've been running numerous tests. And for me, this is a chance to do some actual engineering, away from the Order's influence. Those who cross them disappear in the night. But unless they also have an Ark of Verdance, they can't reach me here.
Norians are really that ruthless.
It was the mystique they cultivated. But who knows how much action they took. That's the problem with secret societies, Bryn. After a while, it's just secrets all the way down.
Both of you this time. Must be important.
It is. We've identified a long-term risk to our people. A source of decay in our enchanted devices. And I've prepared a list of safety measures we should take.
You have?
Yes, we... Wait. Why did you say that like you already know?
Arakim, do you know how intense the competition to become Axel truly is? Even in our diminished state, it is ruthless. Each guild jockeying for its representative to be elevated. To win the seat, you need allies, knowledge, and the will to use both.
You've been watching us this whole time.
I have been watching you, Bryn. Yes. I have been judging Arakim.
Always a test.
What I have seen is growth. Your enthusiasm and energy has never been in question. But your judgment and initiative have often been rash. But in working with Bryn's band, I've seen you set goals, lead plans, move from asking permission to making your case. Just as you came here to do, did you not? To lay out a set of clear steps we should take to preserve our new scries and keep our people safe?
Yes, that is exactly what I was going to do.
You should act on your recommendations with my complete support. I know you're not making them lightly, and they affect your people the most. So yes, it was a test. And as Khan,
You just said Khan.
I did. The scouts have been ignored for far too long, as we tried to pretend everything is as it was. Unless you disagree, Arik.
No, not at all. We've been pushing for this forever.
Good. And you should thank Bryn when we're done. She raised a very salient point in our last chat that swept away the last of my hesitations. Now take a knee, would you? There's work to be done, and neither of us is really built for fancy ceremonies. If we have learned anything in the past while, it's that standing too firmly on ceremony costs us time. We, as a people, would have withered and died without the tireless efforts of your scouts and their forebearers. And yet we have not recognized them, out of fear of tipping a balance that was already lost. And so I elevate you, Arakim Katabi, to the station of Khan of the Enclave, and grant you the title of Guide. May your initiative and care chart. As it turns out, I'm rather glad you tore down. I was not at the time, but Arakim's come a long way since he started working with your band.
As have you, politically.
I will admit I was complacent. Part of my decision to create the role of guide was I need someone who will push, and he will most certainly do that. His findings, though, are deeply concerning, along with the obvious failures of the tapestry, but I see it as an opportunity. The tapestry needs to be repaired, and we have the means. Nothing catalyzes and unifies people like a problem they can actually solve.
Making you seem like a very...
Yes. Yeah. Quite the impressive investigation you and your Ram friend instigated. With those results, we could repair the tapestry and eventually reclaim the underworks. Too risky to tackle right now, though. I'll reach out to Sev myself and let him know how much I appreciate it, and his expertise.
I think we all suspected prolonged exposure to the raw magic in here would affect creatures, but it's surprising to see how far it's gone.
You think this is caused by something other than direct contact with raw magic, like the tangles?
Oh yes. It's that the air is so thick with magic that tangles can even form. It's unprecedented, and thank the flames for that. Imagine if every creature across the Maida acted as aggressive as the ones you're facing.
Is it possible the same thing is happening to us? Or has happened to the Hearthsiders?
While it's long been theorized we must have something akin to strands in us, they've never manifested like in a great creature. On one hand, this means we need mantles to mimic what they do naturally. On the other, Asha, Cassil, and so on seem less affected by the Enclave. It's not like Arakim has grown a third arm.
What do we do about it, though?
Our first step has to be securing the source. If it's the reason the Enclave had access to so much magic before the... You see, this is largely an infrastructure problem. The leaks in the tapestry will have to be sealed and magic slowly consumed through. If we can reduce the emission of raw magic to below our consumption, the concentration will drop. Once the levels inside match the rest of the Maida, we should be back to...
Hard to believe I have a title now.
The Axel seemed certain you were ready for it.
Hirune's also a politician. She knows this somewhat buys my loyalty to her if she tries.
Would you support her, then?
Hirune's a practical lady. She knows the scouts are critical to our ongoing survival. Farming and fishing around Cassidans keeps us fed, but rare materials for alchemy, medicines, enchanting, and so on...
Which gives you some leverage.
It does. But also my title is precarious, as she granted it as acting eye. But implicitly, if she goes, I go with...
Do you think this will drastically change how you interact with the others?
In time, I imagine so. We've been without an advocate for so long, and right now's the best time for me to push. I do have some promising candidates to take over day-to-day operations.
Takes multiple people to replace you.
You got me. Yes, I was bragging. I think it's critical. If one group is over or underperforming, I can try to work with them to figure out what wins. Listen to me. Just chain me to a desk already. All I do is stare at scrolls and move out.
Job 1 will be dealing with the source, right?
If it were all on me, I'd be overwhelmed. But I've got your band. An exceptional group, but you tell me. Am I ready?
I'm with the Axel. It's going to be a change, though.
A shift in the winds, for sure.
Still, look at how you interact with the band here, now. Arranging tasks, working with them.
I do. Your group is inspiring. Everyone's pulling. I doubt I can capture that particular magic with all the politics around the hold, but maybe...
I'm excited to see how it goes. Khan Katabi.
I hope I live up to your and everyone's expectations.
You will.
Most people couldn't even stand straight wearing one of those. You, however.
That's an intimidating silhouette.
Most people couldn't even stand straight wearing one of those. You, however.
Perfect pair.
Use these well. Worth the materials, I'd say. I've always wanted to build something like this. Sword and ball.